From Ms. Harris's class, my name is Eva Wong.
And I am Frederick Richardson.
We are also joined by our special guest, Marin Werner.
Hi guys!
And today we are going to be diving into the topic of what moral dilemmas are and how it can affect our relationship with others. We will be giving multiple examples and scenarios of moral dilemmas and what we can do in these situations.
So what is a moral dilemma, Eva?
Great question.
I know. That's why I asked it.
Anyways, moral dilemmas are situations that make you pick between two conflicting choices that may go against your principles.
Usually, it is a choice that has a permanent consequence no matter what option you pick.
Exactly. One of the most famous dilemmas is the trolley scenario. Frederick, would you like to explain it for us?
Imagine this. You are the witness to a trolley heading straight towards a group of 5 people trapped onto the tracks. You have the choice to pull a lever that will direct the trolley to another track, completely avoiding that group. However, on the other track, there is a single person unaware of the situation.
The problem rests on whether or not you would pull the lever to kill an innocent bystander or let the trolley kill 5 people who are already supposed to die.
What would you do in this situation, Eva?
I would pull the lever. I don't know about you.
And I would too, because 5 lives are obviously greater than 1. How about you, Marin?
I'm gonna go off the grain and kill the 5 people because in my mind they've accepted their death and the one person is unaware.
And so this is actually a well-known theory known as consequentialism. Consequentialism is a doctrine that states the morality of an action depends on its consequences. In this case, most people would choose to save the lives of 5 people rather than just 1.
Now, what would happen if we changed up the scenario, Eva? What if instead you are directly pushing someone into harm's way instead of just pulling a lever?
So this is going to be a spin-off of the trolley problem. Imagine the same scenario, except you're on a bridge above the tracks. In front of you, there is a large man that you 100% know will stop the trolley if he was in front. Would you, again, sacrifice the life of 1 person to save 5?
Most people would actually disagree with pushing the man onto the tracks, even though you end up with the same consequence. I wonder why that is.
That, my friend, is what we call the principle of double effect. It's when the choices our morals make rely on whether or not it directly places someone in danger. A quick example of this would be performing an abortion when the mother is in immediate danger. The abortion would be 100% justified by morals because the death of the fetus would be a side effect of saving the mother, unfortunately.
In the situation with the large man, most people do not want to directly push the man onto the tracks, following the double effect principle. And in the situation with the lever, most people would be okay with pulling the lever and switching the tracks because you are not directly killing someone.
Now, moving on to a third scenario, this one may be a little bit more intense than what we've seen so far. Imagine having to choose between a pregnant lady or a group of 5 terrorists. What would you do, Reese?
I would 100% hands down save the pregnant lady.
Why?
Well, first of all, it's a pregnant lady. Second of all, the terrorist dying wouldn't be that big of a deal.
What would you do, Marin?
I'm killing the terrorists, obviously for the same reason as Fred.
So, actually, this last little theory is called utilitarianism. So, taking the situation, even though it would go against the other principle of consequentialism, where saving 5 lives would be the better option, here a majority of people would save the pregnant lady. Utilitarianism states that decisions are based on what would bring about the greatest amount of happiness to others. A pregnant lady versus a group of people that will bring harm to others, the pregnant lady would win almost every time.
Unless she was like a murderer or something, then you may have to sit on it for a little bit.
Well, the main takeaway is that different scenarios call for different decisions. So if the pregnant woman was actually dangerous, then our morals can shift vastly depending on what we think is the right choice.
Do you mind if we look into some moral dilemmas that we might encounter in our day-to-day lives? Because I highly doubt that any of us would ever be in a situation that would require us to choose between killing 1 person and 5 people.
Yeah, of course. So let's set the stage real quick. Imagine that you have a best friend, and you have been friends with this person your entire life. They've been in a serious relationship for the last year and a half. but last year you saw them with another girl that was not their girlfriend. Would you tell their girlfriend that they cheated, ending your friendship, or would you forget you ever saw anything?
Honestly, I would say nothing.
Really? Why?
I am my friend's friend. I am not my friend's girlfriend's friend. I have no moral obligation towards her.
If this was an option, I'd rather sit my friend down and tell them to come clean. Otherwise, I would just tell the girlfriend myself.
Interesting take.
While I do see Reese's take, I would have to tell their girlfriend because I would not be able to see my friend in the same light. I do not want to be friends with a cheater.
Anyways, let's change this up a bit. Imagine instead that you've only been friends with someone for a little over 6 months. Last night you saw their girlfriend of 3 years kissing someone else. Would you tell them that their girlfriend was kissing someone else, risking your friendship, or not say anything?
In this instance, I would tell them that their girlfriend was cheating on them.
Well, wouldn't you be risking your friendship with them?
Just like in my previous answer, I have a moral obligation to tell my friend the truth. Because what if it comes out that I knew that their girlfriend was cheating and said nothing? First of all, that would look really bad on my end. It would make them feel really even worse than they already did.
I agree with you on this. I would rather tell them that their girlfriend was cheating than say nothing. But your reasoning is a bit different than mine. I will tell them because their girlfriend does deserve to know, just like the last scenario. In fact, they both deserve to know the truth. However, what connects the two reasons is that it relies on our relationship with our friends. We care about the friendship and we want what's best for them. Now, maybe we can steer away from cheating girlfriends. Let's create something more extreme. The choices that no one wants to make. What if your significant other had a terminal illness and right now they're in the worst pain that they've ever been in front of you? Hospital bills are high and chances that they'll live seem slim. The choice here is, would you want your partner to allow the doctor to kill themselves via a lethal dose or let them live in pain?
No, purposefully killing a patient because the pain is unbearable or the disease is incurable and deadly is the legal procedure called active euthanasia. This topic has been debated on for as long as it has been around, on whether or not it is morally correct, and everyone has their own opinions on the matter. So we're gonna let Marin answer this question, and there is no right or wrong answer to this.
Ooh, this one's tough. I would probably have to go through with the euthanasia.
Really good answer, Marin. Thank you. So the question is, can active euthanasia become acceptable to everyone?
Well, if we really think about it, what are we saying when we deny the right to active euthanasia?
Well, you're saying that everyone should be suffering in pain with a high potential that they'll just die either way.
Exactly. So active euthanasia should at least be an option to patients who can decide what they want to do from there.
So let's move on from that sad topic and focus a bit on our special guest here. Marin, have you ever experienced anything similar to a moral dilemma?
Okay, so my grandma just turned 96 this past week, which is absolutely huge, but also kind of depressing. Like, yay, she's alive! But she's becoming a shell of the person she once was, and everyone, including herself, is aware. She has developed conditions like breast cancer and dementia due to her age, and then because of these conditions, she cannot live alone. But no one in my family has the means to care for her all the time. So we had to come to the decision to put her in a home.
So, how did your family and you feel about this choice?
No one wanted to do it, but it needed to happen. We do visit almost every day, but it's not the same. In this home, she also caught COVID, and there were times she would be sitting in her chair begging for God to take her, and that's when it really hit hard. Hearing that she is ready and wants to die is something you can never prepare yourself for.
Thank you for that, Marin.
I'm glad I could make this more depressing than it already was.
So, what was the main takeaway from today?
Moral dilemmas have so many different outcomes, and the choices that we make depend on the different elements. It can also affect our friendship and relationships with our friends and family, depending on the choices that we make.
So basically, different scenarios call for different parts of our morals.
Exactly. And that's gonna be all for today, folks. Thank you so much for listening, and this is Eva.
And this is Reese, signing off.